All right, today we're diving into a cup match that had absolutely everything. We're talking total dominance, pure frustration, and a penalty shootout that went right down to the wire and pushed everyone to their absolute limit. Let's break it down.
Let's just start with this quote from Mikel Arteta. He called the win emotionally tough. Now think about that. If that's how the winning manager felt, you can only imagine the drama that played out on the pitch. It just perfectly sets the scene for the roller coaster we're about to get into.
So Act 1, the test of mettle. Look, on paper, this should have been a pretty straightforward night for Arsenal. They were at home, the massive favorites against Crystal Palace. But, as we all know, football is rarely that simple, is it?
And that is not an exaggeration at all. Arsenal came out absolutely flying, creating chance after chance after chance. They were in total control, but for the life of them, they just could not find the back of the net. And as the game went on, you could just feel the frustration building. It was really starting to feel like one of those nights.
And a huge reason for all that frustration was this man, Walter Benítez, the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. He was like a human wall out there. He was denying shot after shot, Madueke, Gabriel Jesus, Eberechi Eze. He even made a massive late save to stop Declan Rice. It was an absolutely heroic performance that pretty much single-handedly kept his team in the game.
Okay, so on to Act 2, the breakthrough and the heartbreak. Just when it felt like Arsenal were finally going to get that goal they deserved, the game took a wild, dramatic, and honestly a pretty heartbreaking turn.
And this is where it all went crazy. So 80 minutes on the clock, Arsenal get a corner, and they finally get their breakthrough. It's an own goal by Maxence Lacroix. The whole stadium just erupts with relief. Game over, or so they thought. Fast forward to the 95th minute, we're deep in stoppage time here. Palace get a corner of their own, and Marc Guéhi somehow scrambles the ball over the line. Just an unbelievable, stunning twist.
And here's the kicker. That last gasp equalizer that sent the home fans into silence? It was Crystal Palace's one and only shot on target in the entire match. One shot, one goal. Just a perfect smash and grab that sent this chaotic game to a penalty shootout.
And so here we are, Act 3, the penalty pressure cooker. The stadium is just crackling with tension. After all that dominance, after all those chances, Arsenal's fate was now going to be decided from 12 yards out. It's the ultimate test of nerve.
But you know what? This was not your ordinary shootout. What followed was just an incredible display of composure from both sides. Penalty after penalty, 15 in a row, hit the back of the net. The quality was absolutely flawless, and the tension was just getting higher and higher with every single kick.
At this point, it was the only question on anyone's mind. With every successful kick, you could feel the pressure just building and building. After a streak this perfect, you just knew someone's luck had to run out. The question was, who?
Which brings us to Act 4, where the collective drama of the entire stadium suddenly becomes intensely personal. For one player, the night was about to take another unbelievably cruel twist. And in a moment of what you can only call sporting tragedy, the player who finally missed was Maxence Lacroix, the very same player who scored the own goal that gave Arsenal the lead in the first place. I mean, you couldn't write it. Just a truly heartbreaking end to what was already a really difficult night for him.
And this, right here, this just captures the razor-thin margins of football, doesn't it? For Lacroix, it was a night of double despair. But for Arsenal's keeper, Kepa Arrizabalaga, it was pure redemption. After conceding that late equalizer, he becomes the hero, diving to his right to make the winning save. Incredible. Which brings us to our final act, the aftermath. Arsenal were through, sure, but this was so far from the convincing win that everyone expected. For the manager, Mikel Arteta, the feeling was less about celebration and much more about just pure, unadulterated relief.
And Arteta's comments after the match really say it all. He said his team should have won by 3 or 4 goals, but the reality was a 0-goal margin after 90 minutes. That huge gap you see between the expectation and what actually happened, that's exactly why he found the win so emotionally draining. They made it so much harder than it ever needed to be.
So, we'll end on this final thought from Arteta because it perfectly sums up not just this game, but really all of elite sports. For Arsenal, this was a dramatic win, no doubt, but it was also a really harsh lesson. If you want to win trophies, you cannot leave the door even slightly ajar, because sometimes one shot is all it takes to change everything.